Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is week 4 with Mustang Zurreal. We put a lot more time in than the week before. We had quite a few lessons and I feel like we accomplished quite a bit. I wanted to say thank you guys for all the love on the last video. I felt so much more encouraged after hearing from the majority of you guys who were so sweet and want to see my journey with Zurreal even if it's not perfect.
There you go. Good, good, good.
Week 4 was a good week for us. We had a few lessons with Camille and got some more breakthrough on her bad side.
And see if you can just get her to rest on that side without trying to touch her quite yet.
So here I'm working on getting her used to this new stick.
Good. There you are. Just see what she does now when you reach and touch her shoulder. That's a lot better. Yeah, good. Good. Stay with it. Stay with it. Move that hip a little. Good. All right, reward.
Guys, she is so funny. Every time
Really
I
good.
introduce her to something new, even if it's the same thing, like this stick, for example, but just a different color, it's like we have to start all over. And Camille almost didn't believe me.
That's really good.
In the beginning.
Hold.
But then she saw that the black stick was no problem. I could rub her down with it, but then pull out the blue stick and it's scary and she has to run away. So I feel like I've made a believer out of Camille that maybe Zurreal is just extremely observant. I don't know, but this has happened with multiple things such as different colored halters, different colored sticks, ropes, etc.
Oh, now she's perfect. I don't know what it is about that black whip she loves so much. Good. That's exactly what you need to do. Perfect. She is so funny. She really is opinionated. She's like, I like this one, not that one. Good. Very good.
So we started getting her used to the halter in her space, just getting her used to seeing it again. I did have a few questions on how did I get the halter off, and she actually got it off on her own. So in the morning, came out and it was off. So that is how the halter got off. I wish it was an even better story, but at least it's off, thank the Lord. Now we can work to get a halter that actually fits her on and put it on correctly. So I am very excited to start working on that. As you'll keep seeing throughout the video, that touching her is getting a lot easier and I'm able to completely rub her face. I had quite a few cheek and chin touches, but I don't think that we got any of those on film. When it comes to training, personally for me, there are good days and bad days, but then also Zurreal has good days and bad days. Sometimes I walk into the pen and she wants to work, and some days she wants to bite me. And I feel like she has multiple personalities, but it's probably similar to us humans where we're in a mood. And some days she's a delight to work with and some days she's not. So I do feel like we are starting over the first 10-15 minutes. I feel like I have to kind of pretend like it's day 1 again. And then she warms up to it and we can start where we left off the day before. But one thing that I'm learning about training a Mustang is that you have to be extremely patient, not only with the animal, but with yourself. There's so much that goes into it. I know I don't get all the cues correct or pressure and release at the correct time. I know that I'm still a work in progress, but when you're learning, there's so much that you're trying to think of, and you're also trying to stay safe, and you're trying to think about what is the horse thinking and looking for its correct response. But while you're trying to read its ears, you're also looking at its back leg because it might kick you at any second. So there's just a lot going on here. And so if you've never trained a wild Mustang, it takes you to school. And I feel like I'm learning a lot. And the more that I even just watch myself in videos, I learn that way too, because it's easy to think that you're doing the right thing. And then you look and you go, oh man, I'm like 5 seconds off of my release. I need to speed that up, and then you can make changes as you figure it out. Overall, I'm learning that I have to be extremely patient with her and also just with myself. You can see that Zurreal is kicking at flies quite frequently. She has not tried to kick me this week. She has done a little bit of kicking at the whip when I'm desensitizing her belly, but you can just see that she's basically getting eaten up by flies. I need to get a supplement that will help with the flies, of course, we're not ready for fly spray, so I was thinking about getting something I can mix with her soaked alfalfa hay pellets, just to kind of help with that, because the flies here are ruthless. And honestly, when I was wearing shorts for a couple of the training days, I got eaten alive, and I was like, I get it. So I'm trying to have a lot of grace with her when she turns her head to bite at her stomach. I'm not like punishing her because she's not focused on me. I'm letting her protect herself from these flies, because if you looked closely, she's got like 30 on her belly, but obviously fly spray is not an option at this point. But I can't wait to be able to fly spray her and fix that for her.
Really cute. What a good girl you are. There you are.
Week 4 has been a lot of desensitizing her to the halter, just letting her get used to it. I've been playing with 2 different halters. Neither of these ones are actually her size, so I'm going to have to go and grab her a correctly fitting halter. But we're just getting her used to the halter, lead rope, used to the different color sticks, which I never thought would be an issue. Her favorite one is actually this black one that I'm tapping her with. I'm trying to get her to move her hip right here. The reason I'm using the halter and stick combination is because Camille's sister, Ellen, who also has a YouTube channel, she has a Mustang mare from the same pickup spot, which is Triple B, Nevada, and her mare has all the exact same quirks that Zurreal has, and they were able to get the halter on this way by doing it from afar. Her mare is named Everest, and she kind of just does the same thing, has the same right side issue where she doesn't want you on the right side, and also touches were really, really difficult, and she's just very skittish. So they're pretty much 2 peas in a pod, but this worked for them where they would just kind of ease the halter up with the stick and then work their hand up. And so that's what I've been doing. Camille's been walking me through what Ellen was doing with her mare. So we're trying to figure it out this way, and it's really, really funny because right here, when I go up to her with the stick and the halter, it's fine, and my hand is literally a couple inches away from touching her. But if I was to bring the halter up without the stick, it's a no-go. So it's just kind of interesting, because if I didn't know what was going on here, I would be like, why is this girl using so many sticks? Like, what a weirdo, just get up right in her face and do this. That's what I would have thought. But actually, for some reason, like right here, I am actually touching her with my hand, not even with the stick. But because I have the stick in my hand, for some reason, she feels safer. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And people might laugh and go like, oh, that's not true. It's just, and whatever, that's fine. But we've tried the other way, and this way is working. So we're just trying to figure out the puzzle that is her, and this is working for her. So we're going this route. I've been trying to do as much desensitizing as possible. Normally, I don't think that you desensitize to lead ropes until you are already leading, and then you can hold them and give them a proper release and not let them release until it's time. But obviously, I do feel a little bit behind in my training, and so I'm like, hey, we're not leading yet, so I'm just going to do as much desensitizing and do my best to not let her release, even though I don't have full control over where she goes. But I just thought, hey, let's get her used to the rope on her back, and I hope that all this desensitizing actually does pay off later when we go to saddle and ride, when I actually do full desensitizing with her with ropes. So anyways, but we're trying to do some of that now. So this lead rope has a brass clasp, and it's very, very noisy, and so she is not liking the noise, so I'm just kind of shaking it back and forth and just getting her used to the noise. But you can see her head is turned around because she was trying to look at it as it was shaking on her right side. But I'm actually really proud of how she's doing with the ropes and the halter and all of that, and we put in quite a bit of work this week, and I know people are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's a month in and you aren't riding her yet, but I don't get why is slow bad? I just don't get that. I know maybe we live in a world where everything has to be done so fast, but like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, you don't teach a kid how to read in a day. So I know this is a quote unquote 100-day Mustang makeover, but honestly, if it takes us 300 days and I keep her and I don't auction her off or I don't go to the makeover, I don't care. Like, we're in this journey together and we're just going to figure it out. So, yeah, if it takes a long time, it takes a long time. But I'm here for that. My whole point of this entire challenge is to learn and to find her a good home. So if it takes longer, it takes longer. A little hot tip I wanted to share. I don't know if people would recommend to do this, but Kazi used to be completely terrified of bags. Just completely terrified. And so I started putting her hay in a bag. Not something that she could bite easily and swallow. Anyway, so I started feeding Kazi in a bag, and she would have to sniff it out and eat out of it, honestly, within like 1 minute. Totally over being scared of at least that bag. If I pull a bag out of nowhere and shake it in her face, of course, that's going to be terrifying, but I would also be terrified if somebody did that to me. So I thought, hey, I'm going to do that with Zurreal, because anytime a bag comes out of anywhere, she just stares at it and is terrified. And so I thought, hey, let's put her hay in this bag, and she might look like a homeless horse eating out of a bag, but it actually is helping her get desensitized to bags. And you can see she doesn't look too scared, does she? Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I think next week I'm going to be taking a break from the weekly updates and maybe do like a vlog or some sort of other video. Maybe I'll do something with Kazi next week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.